What's going on, everybody? Today, got a little project on my 99 GMC Safari. Got to do a little painting on the wheels because it's got the original wheels and they're a little rough. And the body's in great shape. Could use a paint, or could use a little buff on the paint, maybe a refreshing up on the clear coat and some touch up here and there. But I got to make her look a little nicer because I got a kid, and when I pick her up from school, I don't want people thinking I'm sus. Younger guys will get it. Getting it's a white work van cargo Safari from the night from 99. Runs great, drives pretty good. Needs a little help with the back brakes. They squeak a little bit, but they still work fine. Today we're going to get you certified in masking and spray painting. And with a rattle can, and maybe you can use that on your old resume and get $30 an hour, walk into any paint shop and be like, look, I can mask, I can spray paint, I'll even push a broom for you. But all joking aside, let's get to it. I'll show you what I did and how to do it and see how it comes out. Hopefully it looks pretty good. So what we're going to do is mask off some, I'll cut some paper, mask off the tires. I'm going to do this the lazy man way. I'm not going to get crazy and take the tires and wheels off like you probably should. So if you're in the position where you just need to paint some steel wheels real quick, or any kind of wheel, and you don't want to get it all over your tires and everything else, I think I got a decent idea how to do it without getting it on the tire itself and other things. I've done some pretty iffy things in the past by spraying tire down with tire shine and then going to wash it, which kind of works. I don't recommend it. So what we're going to do here is I got thumbtack, some string, scissors, paper. You're going to need a tape measure, pen or pencil, marker, whatever. And what you're going to need to do is measure the center of your wheel to the top of the rim, and then note it, and then also measure this part so you have enough to cover the tire when you go to cut it out after you trace your circle. I also measured the total width from the top to the bottom of the tire plus the top to the bottom of the rim. Obviously if you get half of this, you'll know what your circumference of your rim will be for your circle, but if you're being lazy, you can just use your tape measure, go from here to here, and then just transfer your measurements onto a piece of paper with the tape measure. So got a mark for the outside of my tires on both ends of the paper here, the starting point of the rim, the end point of the rim, or outside the circumference, from side to side, and the center. So all I'm going to do, take this piece of string, tie it to a thumbtack, put the thumbtack here on my center mark, take my ink pen, tie that to the other end of the string, and trace my circle. And this is kind of what it should look like. You got your thumbtack, your string in there, your pen. I just wrapped it around, that way I can kind of adjust it when I was measuring it, and I just made a circle. It's not perfect as far as my marks, but good enough to I know where to cut. So next we'll move on to cutting this out. Alright, so after you get your hole cut, you kind of see what I got going on here. I decided to leave the excess on the paper instead of cutting it out the shape of the tire. That way I got some coverage on the body panels and around the whole tire. Obviously you're still going to have to put masking tape in the inside, but it'll save you a lot of headache trying to mask all the sidewall and whatnot. So also, if you want to make it look really nice, pop off your wheel weights if it's an old steel wheel like this, and then mark it. But there you go. Alright, so a few things to note after you get it cut out and masked up. You know, I left access so I can tape it, cover the body panels. I did put tape on around the rim first on the tire, then I did the paper. It's not perfect, but it's good enough for me. I'm not trying to make this thing like the perfect paint job unless I was doing it for somebody else. But that's pretty much it. The obvious things as far as painting is the better you prep it, the better your work's going to come out. I'm not going to go nuts and sand this down, smooth it out. I just want it to look good from a distance. So other things, you might have to put some notches, cut some slits to kind of give you more flexibility, because you know when you cut it, your hole might not be perfect. But there you go. Alright, got my first coat on. Not looking too bad. Obviously you can see, you know, if I was to prep it and sand it, it would look, that part, the little paint flakes would look a lot better. But again, I'm just doing a quick spruce up on this bad boy here. If you're curious of what kind of paint I'm using, just some Rust-Oleum enamel paint. If you will need a color like this, there's the part number. But there's coat number 1. I'll probably do maybe 1 or 2 more coats, let it sit for a little bit in between. But give you an idea how well it matches. You know, there's old paint. It's pretty close. Ain't too bad. It's a little brighter, but I think it's good enough for what I'm doing. So definitely make it look good from a distance. All right, time to pull off this paper and see how she did. And that's 3 coats. It's kind of humid today. I'd say it's probably 87 or well, maybe 85 degrees. It's getting hotter though. So I did about 10 minutes between each coat. I don't know what the can says, but that's what I did. So, moment of truth, see if I can do this without bucking it up. Look at that clean break. Oh, boom. There you go. Looks pretty good. A lot better than that, you know. And this is what I was talking about earlier. I know I didn't show it, but I put the masking tape around the tire ahead of time. That way when I go to put this on, it has already has some protection. And we'll see if I got any on the rubber itself. Just a little bit of overspray. And these tires are a little dry rotted. I'm going to be replacing them pretty soon anyways. But yeah, not too bad. I guess I'll show it off here in a few minutes when I get the rest of it done. Alright, here's the rear wheel. First coat. Looking pretty good. I did change something up a little bit on this one though. If you're gonna, when you make your hole for your cutout in the paper, go about a ½ inch bigger than what your rim is. Because I found that on the first wheel it was a little harder to mask it and get it to line up. I was fighting it for a little bit longer. This was way quicker. I went back through and cut about a little, maybe a ½ inch or a little more around on the inside there, and then it gave me more room to lay the masking tape. It was way easier to line up, but I didn't have to worry about the masking tape, the paper coming up where the masking tape didn't have enough to bite on. So something to consider. Definitely maybe go a little wider depending on how big of masking tape you're using. I'm just using whatever. What is that, about probably 1.5 inches maybe. So something to keep in the mind there. Yeah. Alright, so here it is. I had to stop and go clean up the van a little bit. She was a little dirty. Parked under a maple tree, so it's helicopter seeds and all the other fun stuff. But the wheels turned out pretty good, if I do say so myself. Yeah, here's a quick little walk around of it.